All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, after so many close calls for the majority of the 1990s, all of the 2000s, and the latter part of the 2010s, the Atlanta Braves woke up today as World Series champions. The Braves took care of the Houston Astros to claim their first World Series championship since 1995 and their fourth overall. Now, the Braves got hot coming down the stretch of the regular season. They were able to ride that momentum throughout October. And because of that, they are the last team standing in Major League Baseball for 2021. Now, on August the 1st, the Braves were 52 and 55, and then they began to dig themselves out of their hole in order to overtake both the New York Mets and the Philadelphia Phillies in order to win the National League East. And in the postseason, we saw the Braves pitching staff shut down some very hot lineups with the Milwaukee Brewers, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and finally the Astros. Now, it was all about the timely hitting for the Braves. I mean, we saw the pitching, but you can't say enough about the timely hitting as well. And who do you pick? You say Jorge Soler one day, Dansby Swanson another, Travis Darno, Freddie Freeman, Ozzy Albies, Austin Riley, Jock Peterson. Take your pick, but everybody just seemed to contribute and get that key hit when their team needed it. The Braves just had a next man up philosophy this season because it would have been so easy for this team to just, pack it in following the injury to Ronald Acuna Jr. in July. I mean, Acuna Jr. was an MVP candidate. And when he went down, it looked like it sucked the life out of this team. But you know what? This team stuck together. They stepped up. And because of that, that is why they are World Series champions. You look at it, and I said it when it happened. The Mets and Phillies both left the door open for the Braves because I talked about this following the Acuna Jr. injury. And I said, this is the perfect opportunity for either the Mets or Phillies to take advantage of this in order to win the East. Neither one of them did it. The Mets, they struggled on offense all season long and it finally caught up to them, while the Phillies, they just simply could not get out of their way. And it showed coming in September. And in leaving the door open for the Braves, they got hot coming down the stretch. They kept that momentum going. They took care of business versus the Brewers in four. They knocked off the defending champs in the Dodgers in six, and they also knocked off the Astros in six as well. Now, let's not forget, I know that it was an upset when the Braves beat the Astros. When you think about it, the Braves only won 88 games, while the Dodgers won 106 this year. But nonetheless, these two teams did meet in the LCS last year, and the Braves were up 3-1 on the Dodgers before the Dodgers rallied to win the final three. And it was one of those where, you know what, the Braves knew that they were good enough to hang with the Dodgers. And this year, not only did they hang with them, they beat them. And, credit to Brian Snitker. He kept this team together as their manager. He's been with this team and he saw the rebuild because in the mid 2000s, the Braves started over from scratch. They got rid of most of their talent, star talent, that is, with the exception of Freddie Freeman. So he's seen the ups and downs for this team. And, in each of the last 4 years, because of that, Atlanta was able to win the NL East. And finally, here in 2021, it all came together. The Braves were a combination of homegrown talent guys like Freddie Freeman, like Ozzy Osbourne, and guys that other teams gave up on. Travis Darno helped the Mets win the pennant in 2015. He got sent to the Rays, and then, he found, another baseball life with the Braves. You look at Jock Peterson, he helped the Dodgers, win it all. He signed with the Cubs as a free agent, and then he got traded to Atlanta. And Jock Peterson came up with some big hits for this team. As you know, we saw the Pearl Beads being worn by so many fans in the stands down there in Georgia. And then on top of that, how could you forget about Jocktober, as he simply took over? Dansby Swanson, once upon a time, was the first overall pick of the MLB draft by the Arizona Diamondbacks, who not too long after they drafted him, they got rid of him, and the Braves picked them up. And there's so many guys like that. We saw this team get quality pitching. They never, faltered even after Charlie Morton suffered the broken leg at the beginning of the World Series, and you really thought that was going to hinder the chances of the Braves, but no. This team stuck together. Max Fried, Ian Anderson, they gave them some quality outings. We saw the likes of Will Smith, coming out of the bullpen and so many others. And this is a big reason why the Braves win, or were able to win, excuse me. Now, of course, all eyes are going to be on the Braves as they look to repeat, and that's naturally going to be the case. And obviously, it's too early to say whether this team can and can't repeat because there are so many factors coming in, especially with free agency. And you got to see what breaks happen, trades happen, you name it. But nonetheless, I think that Atlanta will once again be in the mix as long as they avoid that dreaded World Series hangover. They still are the best team in the National League East. And of course, that is the first key to the postseason, winning your division in order to get to the big dance. And the Braves have shown that they are capable of doing that as they have won the National League East in each of the last 4 years. But nonetheless, not fast forwarding too far and keep putting the pause button on the moment right now. Props to the Braves. They took care of their business throughout the postseason. And because of that, that is why they are hoisting the trophy as champions of Major League Baseball. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.